And so I figure, you know, in my delusional state of mind, I figure I'm on to something, right? Like I'm almost there to this pot of gold. And I reach into a electrical box, and I'm thinking I gotta look for keys in there, and I grab the 220.
Oh no!
And bam!
Oh,
I mean, I thought, yeah, and I thought my heart exploded.
Bro.
Like I'm walking around, and I'm waiting to fall over dead.
Hey, what's up, guys? I have another fun interview in store for you. This is gonna be a good one because it's a longtime friend of Craig's, and he has a pretty amazing story. But the funny part about this is that we were actually not intending on interviewing him at all. We were heading out to go interview folks who were doing one of those, a No Kings rally, one of the protests that were going on yesterday. There were a bunch of people on a bridge that were lined up stopping traffic on a freeway. And I thought, hey, you know what, it might be fun to go do an interview and see what these guys are all about. But then there wasn't anybody there. They bailed. I guess they knew we were coming. And so I thought, you know what? It'd be fun to actually do an interview. Eric has a pretty incredible story. And at first he was hesitant. He's like, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I want to do this. But then Greg and I, we prevailed and talked him into it. Really, we cornered him and stuck a mic on him and said, all right, man, let's do this interview. So it's awesome. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. Fantastic testimony. It just brings more glory to God for the people that he is drawing to himself according to the proclamation of his gospel. Enjoy. We are all called to Christ, right? And so, like Peter says, that it's by the open proclamation of the word that we come to the faith. It's the hearing of that word preached that we are born again. I mean, and that's the exact language he uses in 1 Peter. And so I thought, okay, what people need to hear, and of course, like, and I was even talking to my son about this morning, what people need to hear is that, man, like, you were totally called out of darkness.
Right.
But what's interesting is, like, my son, he's been in the faith since he was little.
Yeah.
That's because he was raised in a Christian house, right? I go, but a lot of us, it's funny because my wife was like, not us.
No.
Wife goes, yeah, well, you don't understand. Like, we not all came to the faith like in a Christian family.
Right.
Some of us went from thugs
Total darkness.
to theologians, dude.
I mean,
Utter darkness.
and my wife and I are both that story, right? Which is why I appreciated yours. That's and the whole point is like, okay, we don't. And I think you said this earlier. Our goal here is stop hitting the table,
Bro, I was taking this off of the
Dude,
table,
look,
homie.
man. You're just trying to turn the camera on yourself.
No. Watch.
Yeah, this is how vain you are.
You want to see what this does, bro? Watch. Boom.
Yeah.
Wait. No, wait. Boom.
Yeah,
Shakes
okay.
a little bit. That's how it goes. I'm gonna center this thing,
No,
dude.
he wants the camera. That's sweet. He hates the camera. You want it all on you.
Sit on my
Greg's
knee.
over there like,
I'll say, yeah. Can I
do like a ventriloquist
sit in
thing.
your lap, bro? I'll sit in your lap, bro, my friend. My thighs couldn't hold
Not
you.
a gateway, though.
Stand, dude.
On a gateway.
No gay, dude.
No.
So, what I wanted to show is like, look, okay, guys, like, when you're declaring the gospel, it's really not like, it's not about us. It's about the Father's calling according to the work of the Son by the power of the Spirit of God.
Amen.
But we all have a story, and it's God's providential story, right? Of him calling us out of darkness into the light, into the kingdom of his Son. From the kingdom of darkness, like it says in Colossians, into the kingdom of his Son. And the whole point of it is not to glorify the darkness. But you hear these things all the time. I have the analogy. The dark backdrop shows off the diamond, the glory,
for sure.
right, of the calling, of who we are.
That's
in
why this
Christ.
poor guy shares his testimony.
Yeah.
I'm cracking up laughing. I'm like, bro, that's hilarious. Yeah, you weren't a Christian then.
Right.
But we can laugh at it now to the glory of God.
Yeah. So, with that said, Greg, you had an idea of like,
Structure-wise?
yeah, like a what?
I guess, yeah. So Eric, like I was, starting out, where'd you grow up?
Fallon, Nevada. Grew up in, just a middle-class home, predominantly Mormon place, Fallon. It's got like 3 Mormon churches. I actually had family members. I think my grandfather was like a elder in the Mormon church, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and then my parents were kind of involved very little, and then got away from that. So, and then my dad at a certain point in my life, I can't remember if I was about in 5th grade, where we just started reading the Bible as a family. So we'd sit down on the weekends and they would read 7 chapters out of the Old Testament, 7 chapters out of the New Testament.
As a family?
As a
That's
family.
really cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of chapters. Too.
Yeah. But get
grind.
this, we
That's a grind. Yeah.
we
Our guys will make
went
this.
through the whole Bible,
Yeah.
and not one of us got saved. So I could tell you stories about Solomon or
That's impressive.
David
Yeah.
or anything, but I couldn't tell you who Christ was.
Yeah.
And so we did that for a couple years, and there was a lot of bad teaching at that time. My dad would watch like Herbert W. Armstrong, Worldwide Church of God, and like it was all about the end times and everything. I went through a major depression during that time just because I didn't have hope.
How old were you?
I was in 5th grade, so whatever that age would be.
So you can remember as a 5th grader
Oh yeah.
being depressed.
Oh yeah. Horribly depressed. I would sit in my
And for
my
a 5th
room.
grader, that's like unusual, right?
Right,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So if you have any familiarity with Herbert W. Armstrong, he would just be big end times. This is what's going to happen, and he was like 80 some years old, and he's like, "Oh, I think it's going to happen in my lifetime." I'm like, "Oh, he's about going to die, so it's any minute, you know."
Oh,
so
yeah.
So I'm like
Oh, my
just
gosh,
depressed because even though we're reading the Bible, we don't know Christ,
Right.
you know. So it's kind of just this religious routine we're doing, and.
How long did that last for in terms
A
of...
couple years. Well, let me put it. It was by my teen years. I probably hit 13, and we had stopped. So we had read the whole Bible as a family within that time, up until that time, and then my dad just stopped. Because I had been so depressed about all the end time stuff and everything, I just wanted away from it. I didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to live my life, and so the pendulum swung all the way to where it was Katie bar the door. Everything went, you know, and I was just very, very depraved, you know, in my living, and very wild. Got, you know, I was very promiscuous at a very young age, drinking.
Like when? What age would you say? Promiscuous-wise?
13. Before that, I had experiences, you know, but really more headlong by the time I was 13.
Wow, that's young, yeah.
Yeah.
Just right there in the stack over there. Yeah, you're good.
You need to edit that out. No, let's get
Yeah. So, yeah.
My bro over here wondering where to put the cakes.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah.
guys.
Gosh dang new people. Yeah, they all go right there. Dwayne, he sorts it all out on Monday.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
So
So-
with that, so 13.
And then I started getting into music and got a drum set around 13, 14, I think.
Oh, you definitely of the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Syncopation, dude.
Yeah.
Syncopation.
Yeah.
Syncopation, that's what.
Yeah. So then my life became all about rock and roll, or you know, heavy metal, that whole lifestyle, attitude, image.
Who were you into, like as far as band wise?
Oh, every, you know.
The pictures I saw, you like glam rocker. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you guys know about glam rockers.
Well, the hair bands were big in the 80s.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah, they were dominating everything.
What kind of
you know,
hair did
so-
you have?
Poison.
Oh, I had the long.
Yeah, but
hair.
did you have like the spiked up with the long?
No, it was like
Blow
long
dry
on the
for
way.
sure,
Oh
dude.
yeah, blow dry.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like the mullet style long,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
Well, so the mullet came later.
Yeah, they did.
So, but it started with all long hair, and you know, just trying to imitate these guys that I was into, and so I was into all the hair bands
White
and started.
Snake.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like
Yep.
those guys,
Yep.
Whitesnake, and
Yep.
Poison.
And then the harder stuff, Pantera and all those guys.
Pantera,
And
dude.
yeah, Metallica.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Metallica's been around forever.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
70s, right?
80s.
80s?
Yeah.
Early
I think
80s,
they
yeah.
I think they started in the late 70s and then they really hit it.
Okay.
Those guys are still touring.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So-
getting into that, and like,
Mhm.
how would you say like you viewed yourself during that time? So here you are, you're getting after, bro, hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, You figured
That
out
was
what
the
you
goal.
figured out what you like. You're like, yep, I like this.
Yeah.
I want to play the drums.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be in a band.
Yeah,
It's how I
and that
see
was the
myself,
goal.
yeah.
That was the image was, trying to keep it PG, but to, be as immoral as you could. Let's
Sure.
put it that way.
Yeah.
In every area.
Well, to live like, eat, drink, and be merry. Tomorrow we die. Like full
Yeah.
extent of hedonism, right? Just
Yeah.
Go hard, man.
Yeah.
Party.
You valued that.
Party.
You're like, this is
Oh, that was my identity.
this
yeah.
is where I'm going. Dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's my
you said.
telos, bro.
Yeah.
This is the end.
I love this. This
My
is what I'm
ultimate
doing.
goal
Yeah.
is this.
Yeah.
Hedonism.
Yeah.
Well, I think what he said is really cool. Is like this is his identity.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And the worse I was, the better it was, in my opinion. I mean, I was violent. I was, out of control already at that young age, and already had a lot of problems going.
How did that? So as far as the violence, how did that kind of manifest itself during that time?
Just getting in fights,
Like in school?
Yeah, school, and then in the party scene, which, to be honest with you, that didn't start to escalate till I got to about 17.
Okay.
Because I'm at that time. By the time I'm 17, I have my own car. I'm getting out. I'm driving. I'm telling my mom,
More
"Hey, I'm gonna
independent.
stay at this friend's house. I'm not staying at that friend's house. I'm out partying. Is what I'm really doing." And that's where you're running into all that kind of activity. So more of that was going on as far as fighting, getting in fights and stuff.
Going from having read the Bible and that kind of stuff, how did you view yourself? Here you are getting after it.
Yeah.
Partying.
Yeah.
Was there any concern about like, what if I died?
Well, and to that point, and I'm gonna
For God.
fast forward just
Yeah.
a little bit to when I ended up in the drugs, hard drugs, when I'm 21-ish, I guess. I had a girlfriend at the time, and she's like, "Oh, do you believe in God?" And we're both, on drugs. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Christian." Because my definition as a Christian was what I was told was just someone who believed in God. Not someone who has, submitted their life to Christ and knows they're a sinner
Right.
and nothing like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Christian." I'm on the light side of things.
So more like a cultural Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just deceived.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Sure.
so deceived.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So you're tripping. Hi. I'm a Christian.
yeah.
What was her reaction to that? Like,
It was just a conversation, kind of a passing comment that I just answered, and then she had told me about someone else that I hung around with that was into a lot of the dark stuff, more satanic stuff,
yeah.
and identified herself as standing against that stuff, and here we are, two people lost in darkness,
Like some sort of moralistic, like,
Yeah,
I might be doing
yeah.
my thing, but I'm not that bad.
Yeah, it's
that.
just, and that's the deadness, right? That's the spiritual deadness, as you think you're alive in some way, even though you're just depraved, and so yeah.
And so, how far did you take it in terms of
With the
your
lifestyle?
drug use, the
Yeah.
lifestyle, like?
Yeah, so fast forward
And
to
I know, like, we're not, this is not a matter of glorification of
No.
of the life, but kind of just to give a picture.
yeah,
Like the depth of.
The depth
This is
of
how
sin,
dead I
yeah.
was.
yeah, exactly. So kind of fast forward to the era you're talking about, or I just spoke of with the girlfriend at the time. I was
The
in
era that I'm already thinking about. That I know
Right.
about.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, I had gotten so out of control and volatile. Like a lot of my friends were not wanting to, associate with me and stuff. They're just like, "You're just out of control." I mean, they're like, "Love you, man, but you're crazy," And so
I had some friends
But-
like that.
yeah,
So that they viewed you that way, but I mean, like, why?
just because I was volatile. I was unpredictable. If there was something that was going to be done that was outrageous, I would be the one doing it.
And you'd be
So-
going headlong into it.
Yeah.
We
I had
refer,
friends like that every
So
year,
we
yeah.
refer to him as the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
You're that guy right now, bro. And nobody wants to be around that guy.
Right.
And you're like, nope, but the guy's gonna do it. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's all in. And you're like, oh man, bro.
That's like me with my sureño homie
I just
Mike.
wanted to enjoy myself, dude. Like have a good time, bro.
Yeah.
I'm at,
And
I'm
Eric-
at, I'm
Yeah,
at a fair.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
Eric's charging in right now.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah,
I had
that's
a friend,
accurate.
I had a friend named Mike, still my friend today, became a Christian later
Mike.
on in life.
In the
Sureño,
military,
dude.
same thing. Mike, bro. What is
Watch
it
out
with
for
Mike?
Mikes, bro. You can't trust these guys.
Can't trust
Can't trust Mikes, man.
Right.
We're at a fair, dude, and this guy's mad dogging all these gangsters, bro. As a kid, I'm like, dude, why are you that guy, dude?
Are you stupid?
I don't want to get into any
We're
issues,
gonna get
bro.
killed.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Yeah.
killed. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so
He's
you were,
the guy.
you were that guy.
Yeah,
you were
I
a
was.
Mike,
He was
bro.
the guy.
You were a Mike.
I was a
He's
Mike.
a Mike, dude.
What's this called that?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
ended up.
You'd be getting me into issues, like hanging out with Eric, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to box these dudes. I don't even know, bro.
Right.
Just trying to hang out, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Here he goes, dude.
Yeah.
Off
Yeah.
to the-
Enjoyment was a different definition for me.
Right.
Right. You know, it wasn't relaxation and.
Well, do you
Playful.
think? Let me ask this: do you think there was any sort of reason? Like, was there anger or like stuff that you felt that like maybe that kind of stuff was it like an outlet with that? I mean,
It was definitely an outlet, but it goes back to the identity. I mean, I wanted to. That was who I was. You know, it was like my notches
Punk
in my
rock?
belt. Heavy metal.
Or
I wasn't a
glam-
punk rock guy.
glam rock,
Glam
let's
rock,
call it
yeah.
that, yeah,
I
sorry,
was
yeah.
hardcore. You know. No,
Yeah,
no.
glam rock.
Glam. Yeah. No, everything you did or I did was a notch in my belt, like of success,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Because that's your identity. So, you know, I do this thing, this outrageous thing. Hey, he's a wild guy, you know, or whatever. It's that dark foolishness, you know. You're just dead and beating your own drum, you know.
so that ended up in Indian reservations.
Indian reservation.
This is one of my favorites, guys.
So what were you doing on the Indian reservation?
So where I lived had.
Did you become like Indian tribal, like religion-wise, or?
Yeah, actually, I got into one of my buddies did kind of the rituals where they do what's called smudging and stuff with sage and stuff, and we'd sit around a campfire. And yeah, it's bizarre.
Sorry, bro.
It's
I'm
bizarre,
jacking the table here.
but yeah, we do that, and you think you're doing the right thing, and
Doing the thing.
yeah, but that was part of the whole. So I ended up going to the reservations because my other friends were like, too volatile, and so I'd go hang out with my good friends on the reservation, and they were even like, dude, you gotta chill. Yeah,
Dudes on the reservation were telling him to
Right.
chill.
You know you got problems, bro. If you're hanging
Yeah.
out on the reservation, they're
yeah,
like, Eric,
Hey, man.
yeah.
you gotta chill, bro.
Oh,
Right.
bro.
Yeah. Sadly. So, just got more into drugs. I had ended up splitting from my oldest son's mom at the time, and
How old were you?
I was 21, I
Okay.
believe. And so my son was 6 months old, and I ended up getting into drugs. I was having parties, wild parties at my house every weekend. Like, I'd have cars all over the place. My neighbors hated me, loud
I bet
music.
they did.
Oh, it was awful. I
Wild
felt so
parties.
bad for them. And then the drugs started coming in with certain crowds, started
What kind of
wanting it, and
drugs?
then
We talking
methamphetamines.
meth?
Yeah.
Right, John.
Yeah, and so I started getting into that, and it went from being recreational to where I was just on it all the time, and so I ended up being up for like 9 days straight
Dude.
and going to work, which work was like an hour and a half away. I worked at a mine. I'd work a 12-hour shift, drive back an hour and a half, and I was up the whole time. I'm carpeting my walls in my mobile home and crazy
man.
stuff. And
Carpeting the walls,
Yeah,
so bro, like
yeah.
you're gonna have to elaborate a little bit.
And it
on
wasn't
that.
for like sound, like,
no,
trees.
no,
This
it was
isn't
artistic.
because of drums. This is simply because
Yeah,
of. This
yeah.
is awesome, dude.
Yeah,
This is dope.
that's what I thought.
This seems like a sweet
This is
idea.
shalom.
Yeah. This
So-
would be awesome, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
What-
What kind of carpet?
But yeah,
bro?
it was a shag, like green.
It wasn't shag. No, it was
Yeah.
green though. It was
Oh,
emerald. It was
emerald
if
green.
you remember
Forest
the
green?
'90s
Yes.
emerald green of that tighter carpet, whatever that
Our
was.
family had that. We had that in our house.
Berber. Hey, Berber, dude. Was it Berber?
I don't know the names, but
Berber is like that really tightly woven.
no, it wasn't that tight. It had that,
Yeah.
it had a
It was
little
like a
bit
little, like a small fuzzy.
Yeah.
So that we had emerald green in our house.
I had it, and I had
Dude.
it on my walls
like-
as well. Yeah.
I had them at walls, but yes,
Needless to
dude.
say, when you don't sleep and you're on drugs,
You carpet your walls.
It seems
bro.
like a
think about
fantastic
crazy
idea.
things. Yeah. So,
If you're my friend, bro, by the way, back then, I'm like, dude, I love this
Like,
guy,
well-
bro. This is awesome.
yeah.
I mean, are you gonna carpet your walls? No, of course not, bro. But
Egging them
Yeah.
on.
it's awesome. Yeah.
I would have been egging them on.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, bro, why aren't you carpeting this too?
We need to tile
Right.
your
Yeah.
ceiling, dude.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do the ceiling.
Well, if they wouldn't have taken my home, it probably would have ended up. The ceilings
Oh my
would have
God.
been done.
Just
but-
everything.
Ah,
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm up for 9 days during that period. I'm carpeting my walls.
insane.
Were you on the reservation at this point, or off?
No,
the
I'm
reservation?
off I'm on my own reservation.
You
at
were
this point.
absolutely off the
Yeah,
reservation.
because I actually owned a
On the
home
res-
at that time. Was buying a home, I should say, at that
Dude.
time. So I'm 9 days. I think it was around 9 days, and I'm starting to.
It's a long time.
Oh yeah,
dude.
yeah, and the drugs aren't keeping me awake. Even I'd kind of nod out or
Was that
whatever.
the longest you were up for on meth?
Yeah,
9
yeah, that
days?
was
That's a-
that was the
bro.
longest time.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is crazy, dude.
Yep. So during that time, I ended up, because I was up for so long, my body just shut down at work. Standing up, I was leaning against a
Remember you sharing that,
file
yeah.
cabinet. Yeah, and I was filling an engine with oil on a big haul truck. And I fell asleep standing up, and I wake up to my friends just shaking me. He's like, Eric. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oil's running out on the floor. And I go out there, and there's like gallons and gallons just running out the door of this
Oh.
shop.
Wow.
And so, needless to say, the next day I go home after clean up or whatever, but go home, come back the next day. All the bosses bring me down and said, hey, we know you're having some problems, because my life was nuts at that time.
yeah.
Here's, a number to call, but we got to terminate you. I said,
Oh,
yep.
Man.
I understand, totally understand. Thank you for giving me the job. And
Yeah.
went home, got my last paycheck out. Yeah.
It ended in the pile of mail, right?
Yeah.
And you already had that check lined out for what you needed.
No,
You had a budget.
It
set
was
aside.
impulsive. Yeah, it was impulsive. So about a week later, I thought, because they gave me a check when I left, and so I took that. And then about a week later, I'm checking the mail, and I pull out this stack of bills about like that, and I'm like, oh, hey, I got a check, and I'm like, oh, wow, I got money. And so I go and buy more carpet, and so my buddy at the
I've heard this
time,
before, bro.
yeah,
I just love it.
yeah,
More
because I
carpet.
had a project to
More
finish,
carpet, yeah.
right? I had
Yeah.
a project to finish, but
Huh.
and so at that time, I'm
a project to finish, dude. That's
yeah, and my buddy who was on meth too.
Yeah.
It's bad when they're looking at you going, "What are you doing?
You're messed
Buying
up."
more carpet?" It's like I got to finish this, So
That is bad,
That's when
bro.
I started.
yeah. So, anyways, I get to where, of course, I'm not employable because I'm a mess. So I get to where I'm trying to deal meth, but the problem is I'm doing more of my product than I'm trying to sell, right? So, needless to say, it's a fast track in about 6 months to the
I was gonna
end.
ask as far as time frame. How
Yeah.
long it lasts for? Okay.
Yeah,
So
to the
6
end.
months.
Yeah. So, all of a sudden, I'm
You're a father at this point too.
Yeah, yep, I am. My son was about 6 months old at that time, and so and I would have him on and off during that time, So, but so towards the end, the girlfriend that I had, she's leaving, moving out of my house. My buddy who had lived there, he's moving out of the house. I'm sitting there on a mattress on my floor. The electricity's getting turned off, all that
man.
stuff, and everybody's leaving. And I'm just thinking, yeah, this is pretty low, but I'm by candlelight still trying to finish the carpet on my wall.
Why'd you do that to me, man? You surprised me. Right
What's
away.
that? Sorry, yeah.
By candlelight.
Yeah,
You
I
had
was.
a project.
Yeah, I had a project to finish. It was so weird, but
You were committed to that at least.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's wild.
So
And you had a mullet at this point in time.
yes, that's when I have the mullet. Yeah, the super
Guys,
mullet.
Mullets are scary.
Yeah.
Watch out, the super mullet.
Yeah, right. But so, anyways, I end up during that time, I'm running with a rough crowd. My home's getting taken, and I end up getting into a fight with one of my parents' neighbors. And it turns into assault, and I have to go to court for that. Ended up in jail. And they said, yeah, your son, my dad actually went and talked to, I can't remember if it was the judge who was going to be doing the hearing for my deal. And he's like, yeah, we know about Eric. We know the track he's on. He's like, he's headed for prison, and he said, and so my dad said, that he would basically take me in after my hearing. And he says, okay. So they gave me basically a year probation that I had to live with my parents and, not have any trouble.
Pretty lenient.
It was very, very lenient, especially for all that I was in, beating up a neighbor, all that kind of stuff. I mean...
so you beat up this dude?
Yeah.
To what degree, if you don't...
I was...
Hospitalized him?
No, I didn't hospitalize him.
Okay.
So... Just it was weird because one of the guys I was running with took me by his house and made up this story about this guy, and I end up being looped out. I'm like, I'm gonna go take care of this guy, this is what I gotta do. Show up in broad daylight, guy doesn't know me, I don't know this guy, and just started a fight with him.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, and even God's grace in that, his dogs are chewing on my foot, jerking my foot.
No
because I was
way.
on top of their owner, and just that they didn't kill me, the dogs didn't kill me and stuff, or that guy didn't kill me.
My dog Argo would smoke you. Bro.
Right, yeah.
Argo is terrifying. He's pissed.
Yeah. So I end up leaving there, and then the cops show up, and like I said, I went to jail for a short time, and then end up with my parents. And then during that time, I have a friend who knew some facts about Christ, but he wasn't a believer. So I'm jumping ahead of your questions. So
No. Bro,
So
you're good. So you had a friend, kind of leading you in that direction. So you, from my understanding, bro, and I can't leave this out.
All right.
You used to go and inspect sheds.
Yeah, that was during that time. Yeah, I was looped out. So I was on a mission, and so it's I felt like I had to figure out this code, and at the end of this code there was going to be great riches or something, I don't know.
Oh.
And so I was
kind of like a leprechaun story. Like the pot of gold at the rainbow, dude.
Great riches.
There will be great riches, dude, if I discover it, crack the code on this thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro, of course.
Yeah, this is what's going on.
I used to hang out with a bunch of meth heads.
Yeah.
I would sell them weed.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for me, this was like comedy relief.
Really?
Because I would encourage it. So
Oh,
I would come over and they'd be like, bro. And
Absolutely.
So they wanted to come down.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. It was what do they call that? Kind of relationship? Symbiotic relationship where it's like,
makes sense.
I'm just perfect. And then it came one day, this is, not to get off track here, but one hilarious day where I'm sitting there in the living room with a bunch of them, right? And,
It's tweakers.
Oh yeah. And
They're all tripping.
We're just smoking together, and one of them, the head guy, who basically was selling
The
meth.
OG tweaker.
So he looks out the window and he goes, you know what, man? And he turns around and looks at me. This is really funny, dude. How come every time, bro, that white van is parked down the street, you always show up?
Oh, wow.
And I knew it. I'm like, I'm done, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
I will never come back here ever again.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. The funny thing about the white van is I was always looking at white vans. Minivans, dude. White vans or blue van, and
But what's funny is that I always thought it was hilarious.
Brazil.
I would encourage them in their little adventures, man. There's so many.
You're like, oh yeah, bro, they're after you, man.
Yeah.
And then
I'm going home.
I knew I was toast, bro. These people would kill me. I knew I was toast. I'm like, these guys, now I'm scared, bro. Now I'm looking out my blinds, dude. These fools are gonna kill me because they think I'm
You become the tweaker.
Yeah, well, no, exactly, right? Because now I'm worried that they're gonna come after me because they think I'm there to spy on them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah. You were an narc, right? Yeah.
This is not a good thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm out. That was the last time I hung out with those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
you
I
were
remember
smart.
right, something happened in a particular shed.
When I got shocked?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course, bro.
Oh, yeah.
When I got shocked.
Yeah, I was looking for keys. Yeah. I had hopped this like
Looking for what?
keys for the sheds because they're locked.
Oh.
So I'm looking for keys, and I actually found some. I just couldn't find the locks they went to. And so I figured, in my delusional state of mind, I figure I'm on to something, right? Like I'm almost there to this pot of gold. And I reach into a electrical box, and I'm thinking I gotta look for keys in there, and I grab the 220.
Oh, no.
Dude, and bam!
Oh,
I mean,
just
I thought,
ripped you.
Yeah, and I thought my heart exploded.
Bro.
Like, I'm walking around, and I'm waiting to fall over dead.
Did it shoot you off of it?
No, it just hit me real hard.
Oh,
so
bro.
To be honest, I don't know
totally
what
had a heart attack.
Yeah. The weird thing
Wow.
was I was running with a crowd at the time that was into some really, really dark stuff. I mean, I had been at this guy's house, the guy that my girlfriend had talked about who was in the dark stuff.
Yeah.
He had opened up this thing under his stairwell, this closet door. There were girls chanting under there over candles, rocking back and forth.
Dude.
And yeah, it was just a crazy
Wow.
scene. So that was the night I kind of went out of there on my own, and I'm like, trying to figure out my mission. And,
Pot of gold, baby.
Exactly. And so, anyways,
You get shocked.
I get shocked and think I'm going to die. Didn't die by
bro.
God's grace.
That's
And
pretty wild.
yeah, and then it was just a progression of that, of just trying to figure out all this stuff. It's kind of like a real schizophrenic thing starts happening,
Yeah.
alter reality, just because of all the drugs and stuff. So
Yeah.
So you mentioned your friend that was sharing
yeah.
biblical Christian kind of things, but wasn't a Christian.
Yeah. We had hung around, and he was a part of another group that I hung out with. But anyways, we'd get either drinking or high or whatever, and he'd just start talking about Jesus real passionately, and I'm just like listening to him, and he's not a believer, but man, he's so passionate about what he's talking about, and I'm like, I gotta figure out who this Jesus is,
Yeah.
And the Lord used that. And so at that time, my mom had this little tiny New Testament pocket size, and I'm sitting there and I'm just reading the New Testament.
Like
all of a
the
sudden.
Gideon's ones.
I don't know if it was a Gideon's. She got it. She told me she
Small
got it at a church she went to when she was young.
Okay.
She always kept it. But anyways, I'm
Was it
reading it.
orange?
No.
Oh.
No, it was
the
a
Gideon's ones are the orange little ones. Yeah.
Or the
yeah.
brown
No,
ones,
it was black and it had red on the pages. Where
Yeah.
you could see the red.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'm reading it, and it's the Lord just turns on the light of everything is about this person, Christ, Jesus, but I'm still in. I don't know if you'd call it like what the Puritans would say, like sinner awakened. Like you're starting to see, I am a mess. I no longer want this image that I lived for because it's taken me to the bottom. And I've lost everything. I can't get control of myself. I can't quit drugs no matter how much I want. I can't quit this lifestyle. I'm always going back to it. And so, I'm just at the end, and I start reading this, and all of a sudden, the lights turn on.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
that doesn't mean that there was change
Sure.
right away. But I'm starting to understand,
Right.
and I'm not in fellowship at all. And I had a bad taste in my mouth because,
Not in church.
yeah, my dad was like,
Yeah.
he didn't want anything to do with organized religion. That's why we read the Bible at home and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, church is bad, right? Because you're still got this baggage. And as I'm reading like John 3:16 or John 3, and he's talking, and Jesus is talking to Nicodemus, and he's talking about being born again, and you got to be born of the Spirit, the water, and the Spirit.
Right.
I'm thinking of water as baptism, right? Because no one's teaching me, and so I'm like, at some point, I'm like, I got to get baptized. Like this is my commitment time to follow the Lord. But I didn't really know what that meant, or what it looked like. But I'm like, oh, well, he says if I want to be saved, basically, this is what you got to do, And so, but I misunderstood. But so I read through the New Testament at that time. I remember one of the things that I'm reading the Gospel of John, and I'm out of my parents' house at this time, and I'm in my own apartment. and I'm sitting on my couch reading the Gospel of John, and John 14:23, I think it is, where Jesus says, you know, whoever loves me, my Father and I will come and make our abode with them. And I'm thinking, be the home of the God of the universe. As I just remember that was like wild.
I don't even have to carpet or green anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No more
Dude, I'm in the carpet shanty, and I could be in the abode of the living God.
Yeah. And so there was just things like that would kind of the Lord would just enlighten. And so, needless to say, because I'm not in fellowship at that time, you know, my life is like this. You know,
like topsy-turvy.
Yeah. So I end up going and getting baptized, right?
Wow.
And
like you just went and said, "Hey,
I found a church.
I just need to go do it."
Yeah, I found this place.
And they're like,
let's go.
Well,
Wow.
so this is the thing, right? I mean, it was literate because I was like, oh, I don't want to be a part of a church. I just need to get baptized because that's what it says I'm supposed to do. So I find this church, and it's literally called the Country Church.
Okay.
And you know, it's just this tiny church with this very old pastor. And I come in, and I'm talking with my friend who has been talking about Jesus. He's like, yeah, I need to get baptized again. My brother's like, yeah, I want to get baptized. I'm like, all right. So we go there, and I tell the pastor, I'm like, hey, I want to get baptized. He's like, oh, this is fantastic, you know? And he's like, oh, have you said the sinner's prayer? And I was like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. So he had me pray this prayer. I don't even remember what it was. Yeah. You know, and I don't attribute it to anything, but I'm just saying, yeah, it was. You know,
that's pretty wild.
So I remember getting baptized, and things, you know, continue to be different. Like I would go, say, because I was single, and I go to this life of, you know, women all the time to no women at all, you know, and I'm like, oh, I want a relationship and everything.
So, like,
and
still kind of weaving in with like fornication kind of thing?
No, I wasn't well, I did fall into that, yes, 2 different times with a girl. But I was wanting to, you know, find a wife,
yeah,
you know.
Of course, so.
And so not being in fellowship and all that, you know, I'd go out to the club, you know, I'd wait 2 weeks, I'd feel horrible. Go out to the club, come home, and I'm just like,
find a girl, dude.
No, that's a wrong place to find
Yeah, it's definitely not up there on the list.
No, I do not recommend that ever.
Don't go to the club.
Don't do it. So, so my response to sin, or the feeling of sin, was different. What I used to celebrate and run headlong to, all of a sudden, like, it was like a dark cloud was just over me. You know, the next day after being at the club for a night or whatever, I'd wake up and I'd be so depressed and just so feel horrible, you know, because I was sinning. So there was some cycles of that, you know. And so I don't know. I can't tell you when I was saved, right? I don't know. I just know when things started to change, when the Lord started to turn the lights on.
Yeah.
Because like I said, going back to when we read, I could tell you about Solomon or King David, but I was blind to Jesus Christ. And we had read about him as a family. Didn't make sense, didn't even register. True. And then the Lord turns the lights on as I'm reading by myself, that it's all about the person of Christ, you know. So, needless to say, I don't know when I was saved, you know, during that time. I just know my affection or my relationship with sin had started to change, you know, and so
once you loved it,
yeah.
But then now you're like, man, now
it made me miserable. Yeah.
It's really interesting, and it changed the affections of your heart, right? So the way the Scripture describes that is that the Lord literally gives us a new heart, gives us a new mind, eyes to see, ears to hear, right, and a desire to follow Him.
Yeah.
And blinders fall off.
That's a commonality.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's something I can say is true with me, where it's like, you know, and I'll share my story some other time. But the one thing that is true is, like, I went in without any expectation, right? I hear the gospel, and it's a simple gospel. It's not like even, you know, it hits me. I had heard it probably 100 times before, you know, in the way that it was shared. And then all of a sudden, my affections
Change.
That's the only thing that I can describe, like you're saying. I can't necessarily pinpoint, I was born again now. No. But I'm like, one thing I realized that came to me immediately is, unless I'm in Christ, I'm gonna perish. I'm gonna go to hell.
Right.
And that became very real to me. And then the next thing that like really hit me was like, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. And even people who are around me started noticing a difference, like a stark difference. And it's something that I'm like playing off. Like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm still smoking weed. I'm still doing the thing, you know? Like, I'm trying to play it off. And they're like, no, there's something marked.
Going on.
Something's changed, yeah.
There's something absolutely different. And they didn't want to hang out with me.
Right.
They wanted nothing to do with me anymore, which is really wild. Like, I was being stripped of all these friendships, stripped of all this stuff. And I didn't even have these desires to, like, very similar to you, where I didn't even have these desires to go out and do these things anymore. My desires changed. Like, I longed for something entirely different, you know, and it was something I couldn't even put words to it.
Yeah.
I could now, because I mean, I know the word pretty well, and
right.
you know, I've been around long enough and a path of sanctification. But if I'm just being honest, like, there's no way. I'm just like, everything's changed, and I cannot say zero credit. Like, it wasn't all of a sudden like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna live a better life now.
Yeah.
There was no pragmatism.
Yeah.
There's no
I'm
utilitarian,
now,
like,
bro. I'm gonna do the Christian thing.
Absolutely not. And it wasn't like, you know what, like, kind of like this self-help, like, improvement kind of thing.
Yeah.
You hear about people like, oh, you know, I don't really like the direction my wife's going, so I think I'm gonna make some changes. No, bro. Like you, I was headlong committed.
Yeah.
That, when you say identity, that really resonated with me in the sense that that's what I wanted, and I was pursuing it with everything within me.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, man, like, it's like, nope, you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And you change. Like, there's this distinct moment where you're like, I don't desire those things anymore like I did.
Yeah.
I was pursuing that with everything in me, and now that's gone. It was like it was stripped away from me, and it's like I have these new, you know, we would use the term convictions, but there were like literally new desires planted in me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's a lot about, like, kind of very similar to what you're sharing.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, after becoming a Christian, like, how did that affect your life? Like,
Well, by God's grace, I end up going to a good church, and the pastor reached out to me and took me under his wing and started discipling me, you know, and took me, was taking me through the Word. We were memorizing the highlights of every chapter starting from Genesis, you know, and he would meet with me every week. I'd read 6 chapters. He'd have me memorize all the highlights of the chapters. And the guy is dying from liver failure at this time. And yet he is just, I saw more of Christ in his dying than most people in their living.
Wow.
You know, just the way he poured himself out.
how old was he?
He was in his 40s.
Dang. Bro.
Yeah.
No way.
As I'm drinking beer, I'm like,
Yeah, no, and it wasn't
Liver
even.
failure.
It wasn't. I want to say he'd gotten a disease of the liver. Like, it wasn't. He never drank or anything like that. No drugs. Anything. You know.
that's wild.
Yeah. But during that time, like, as he's dying, he's meeting with me every week, pouring into me, answering all my questions, and just really loving.
How long ago was that?
Probably about 30 years ago, yeah. Maybe
That's
28.
so amazing, bro.
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
30, and here we are now.
yeah. But so, yeah, he just poured into me, and so things are starting. There's more accountability because I'm knowing more scripture. But my life is still, you know, I'm not married. I'm
Still in the clubs?
Once in a while,
Cruising the clubs.
yeah.
All up in the club.
Yeah, and then I end up meeting my wife in the gym, you know, who wasn't I wasn't dating her or anything. I end up meeting her in the gym, and her
Were you doing curls? That's what they say, you know, curls for the girls.
for the girls.
Yeah.
No, it was,
Proteins,
yeah. No, she just said, hey, my racquetball partner canceled. She was telling someone else, and I'm like in the middle of my workout, and I was all about workout, and I'm just
racquetball.
I was like, I'll play racquetball with you.
I'm absolutely going to play racquetball.
She's like, okay.
It's a good
Yeah.
idea.
So anyways,
my favorite.
yeah.
All of a sudden, hates racquetball. He's like, I'll absolutely play racquetball.
I actually had never played racquetball before.
That was the first time?
Yeah,
for
Lisa?
Yeah.
play racquetball all the time.
Yeah, I didn't even tell her that. I was
That's
just
my
like, I
favorite.
will play. I will play. Because I had
Did you-
seen
did
her
you
a
beat
year
her?
before. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Men,
Eyes
dude.
closed.
Yeah.
Eyes closed. Yeah, men in sports, bro.
Man,
This is how it goes.
Never
she was
played it.
pretty vicious, though.
Almost
I'd get
smashed
hit
you.
with the racquetball mysteriously
Got you?
all the time. Yeah.
They're like, let's see how he does with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Bam, off the head.
Yep.
All right, bro. I need to hit the.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's how it goes, bro.
Well, bye, Greg.
Bye.
So when you say you met your wife,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you're again, like like what you're sharing, sanctification is not like a lot of people like have this idea that sanctification is this upward, to glorification. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It looks a lot like
Yeah.
right, and you're
A lot of
still
valleys.
struggling. You meet her, and then would you say like, how did that go? Like, so you guys end up obviously getting married.
Yeah, I share. So she was into New Age at the time,
Oh,
and this is
man.
another thing I don't recommend doing.
Right.
You know, I end up getting a relationship with her through the racquetball. We're talking and stuff, and I see she's got this big crystal, she's wearing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a Christian. She goes, yeah, I'm very spiritual, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, and so
And how long would you say you had been a Christian at this point? Like,
probably maybe a couple years.
Okay.
Maybe a couple years.
so still a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I end up sharing the gospel with her. And I said, if you think you're going to bat your eyes at God on
I-
Judgment Day.
I got to get the door for
Oh,
you.
yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, bro.
Great to have you back.
Yeah, I'm back.
We got to wrap up too because I got to get back
Feel
on.
fresh.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you think you're going to, when you're talking to her, you say if you think you're going to bat your eyes on Judgment Day.
Yeah, if you're going to bat your eyes on Judgment Day, like you did at me at the racquetball court, and God's going to say, yeah, you can come into heaven. I said, he's just going to see you as sin and sinful. I said, you need to get to know this person, Christ. So I gave her a New Testament, and she just read it like in weeks. She read the whole New Testament and ended up giving her life to
that's
Christ.
awesome,
Yeah.
man. Praise God.
Wow.
Yeah. And so,
Lisa
like, a
is
month or
is
so later, we
dear
got married.
sister, dude.
She is, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear sister. of the
Yeah.
Lord,
I
man.
definitely married up
Oh.
for sure. So very grateful.
Now, since you've been a Christian, has everything been like
Awesome.
fun and awesome?
It's funny
and,
when
like,
you went, when I said,
crushing
Pat,
it?
the sanctification is like,
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, to answer that question, there were moments you think you're doing awesome and you're blind in certain areas.
Yeah.
There's pride or lovelessness, and so yeah, just the Lord working that out, and then like a 4-year stint, four plus year stint of just absolute darkness. So
And this has been as of recent.
as of recent, yeah.
So people think like, I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
The load is, off, and God's lighting that load. But next thing you know, it's like here you are now. You're
Yeah.
like 30 years deep in the faith, and you're struggling like
Yeah.
crazy intensely. And I say this, I've known you since 2013,
Right.
and here we are now. Fast forward, and it's
Mhm.
like the last 4 years have been just
Yeah, nightmare.
tough,
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yep. But God has been faithful through it all. I didn't think I was going to make it out of it. I really didn't. As a man who
Bro,
delighted in being a man and strong and, a man of, moving forward, I was reduced to, laying against my bedroom wall, not being able to get out of bed.
you were up for days. How long?
Yeah, months with just,
Months.
yeah, it was like something snapped, and it was like someone was playing a movie reel of the worst in my head. And I'm trying to fight them with Bible verses, and don't know why what's going on is going on, and not sleeping, and finally ended up in the emergency room, and and it wasn't like I wasn't in a secret sin. Not that I wasn't sinning in some way. I'm saying
Sure.
I didn't have this sin
Not
that I was
porned
doing.
out, bro,
I wasn't
not
into
cheating on your
pornography. No,
wife,
not
yeah.
doing any of that. Not living a secret life or anything. But all of a sudden, it's like the Lord just laid me in the dust. Because He is sovereign over it. And I started seeing areas of pride and lovelessness, lukewarmness towards the Lord, and really thought this was the end. The Lord's done with me, and I couldn't function even for months, really. So
because I love my brother.
Yeah.
We hadn't talked in a long time, right?
Right.
And then the World Series is going on. This is what, a few years ago?
Yeah.
He's sharing this thing, bro. I am like brokenhearted, teary-eyed, and talking to him like, Eric, do you have a mullet?
Yeah.
He goes, no. I'm like, bro, are you beating up Indians in the reservation, dude?
Right.
He's like, no. I'm like, well, you're still a Christian.
Yeah.
Because he's like, man, I don't know if I'm in the faith or not.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, and the level of
my heart
what was going
broken,
on.
bro.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you were there for me in my darkest days through a divorce and through you were just a blessing, bro. I mean, you still are, of course.
Meanwhile, he's suffering in the darkness.
Just struggling, bro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so not completely out of it, but a lot further down the road by God's grace than I was. And like I said, I didn't think I was going to come out of it. I thought this was it. God's done with me,
Wow.
And so everything just kind of turned inward, and now the fight was to turn outward, go to Christ, go to Christ, go to Christ. No matter how hopeless you feel, no matter how dark it is, you need to go to Christ. And so, yeah.
What would you say, like, anybody who's going through that kind of stuff, like, here you are now, you're in the faith almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would you encourage people, like, to, going through depression, anxiety, just darkness? What would you say?
Yeah.
As Christians, too.
As a Christian.
Yeah, you're really, you really just have to look to Christ. Simply put, your only hope is in Him and what He's done, and you just have to day by day say He's enough.
God's enough.
His work is enough. His work is sufficient. And even though it would feel fake, powerless, I would have to preach that to myself. I could only read in bite sizes, but there's a lot in the Psalms. I lived in the Psalms, still kind of do, that talk about waiting on the Lord. I mean, that word wait is all over the Psalms, about wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord. And that's what you have to do. You have to trust that He's sufficient, and yet wait on Him, even because what you knew as reality is maybe gone,
right.
And the darkness has swallowed you up, and you feel like God's, done with you.
Yeah, here you are.
Yeah. By grace. Yeah. So anyways, look to Christ. Keep looking to Christ. And by His grace, I'm way better as far as what's going on in my life and everything. Feel way better.
Are you out of the woods, would you
No,
say?
I'm not out of the woods. But by God's grace, I've learned to cope better in the darkness. And the goal isn't, God, just get me out of this. It's like, whatever you're doing, Lord, just be honored in it. So,
amen.
Yeah.
What are yeah, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy, bro, like during my darkest days, bro, ministered to me like you wouldn't believe, man.
Praise God.
What would you say, like book wise? I know we're wrapping things up. Like, what's helped you during that time?
Outside books.
So I'm sure Psalms.
Psalms.
And you've shared with me previously that Psalms have been like amazing. Like, if you're going through darkness, jump in the Psalms immediately, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you don't even know how to pray, and so it is your way to pray. You are, letting the Word speak for you, your prayers. I mean, you go to Psalm 88, and the guy's like he ends saying basically, I'm in darkness. You know, there's no light at the end of that, but he begins it by saying, you know, he says, the Lord my God. So he's holding on that the Lord is his God, but at the end, he's like, I'm in darkness. And that's how it ends. Because when you're in darkness, you're like, can you be a Christian and be so hopeless? Because you hear everybody say, be anxious for nothing, peace that passes understanding is going to guide you. Awesome. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Those are all truths, but you feel none of that. Absolutely none of that. Yeah. You feel everything, you know, contrary to that. And so you're like, can't be a Christian. And yet you go to the Psalms and you see Psalm 88 that is inspired by the Holy Spirit, and a man saying, I am in absolute darkness. And he ends it that way. And you go, okay, so I can be in darkness.
The best way to describe that I've experienced, very similar, is as I'm navigating the darkness,
dark night of the soul,
my feelings should not dictate reality, even though that's real.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm feeling, right?
Yeah.
The whole concept of be led not by your own understanding, right?
Right.
But in all your ways acknowledge the Lord.
Yep.
But it's really preaching to myself all the truths, despite the darkness, is the only thing that's really helped me navigate some pretty tough things. You know, a lot of what you're describing. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that's the thing is the truth is the truth, regardless of what we're feeling at the time. And I had to hold on to that because everything you're feeling says no. What is true is what you're feeling. Right. It has engulfed you. It has engulfed you. You can't function. You know, every day was a living nightmare for me. Like, it was waking up in a bad dream. It was like I could feel the weight of eternal punishment on me. Like, feeling that weight. I can't describe it, but it was awful. And just being like, I'm done, you know, God's cast me, he's spit me out.
I'm not a Christian.
Yeah. And it's like, but I got to go to Christ.
He was telling me things too when I was talking to him. I'm like, I'm going to church and the preacher's preaching and I'm hearing condemnation against me.
Yeah.
In the sermon, I'm like, whoa, bro.
Well, it'd be verses like, I never knew you, you know, would be going through my mind during the week. Depart from me, I never knew you. Show up on Sunday, he's preaching, you know, depart from me, I never knew you. And I'm just like,
that's me.
Yeah. And over again, you know, and I'd be like, I told one friend, you know, I'd be like, I feel like I'm Israel at the bottom of Mount Sinai and God's talking during the preaching. And I'm saying, don't let him speak to us no more. We're going to die. You know,
like the Jews.
And go in that Sunday. Preacher's like, it's like Israel standing at the base of the mountain and saying, don't speak to us anymore. I'm just like,
you're like,
you know, and that was happening on a steady diet. And it's like, and all I can do is go to Christ.
When him and I talked and he calls me, bro, and I'm like, dude, litmus test, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have a mullet now?
Right.
No. Are you beating up Indians? No. Well, bro, you're a Christian, dude.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's cracking up laughing. I'm like,
right. Yeah.
It's not that easy, but it is funny.
We need that in our lives. Like, sometimes, like, you know, we always talk about the Inception totem.
Yeah.
Have you seen Inception?
Yeah.
Where it's like they have their little secret thing that helps them, like, decipher whether they're in a dream or in reality.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like, it's like brothers in our lives. Like, we get so in our heads.
Yeah.
Like, buried. This is why we need...
I'm Jeremy's totem, dude.
This is why we need community.
Yeah.
We get so caught up and buried in our own heads. Mm-hmm. And it's dark. And it can get really dark really fast, as what you're describing. Yeah. It's like that totem, you know, where am I in reality or am I in dream world?
Right.
You know? And it's like a bro is like, hey, do you have a mullet right now? It's like that which is really funny to think about.
No.
I don't have a mullet. I'm not no glam rock.
Beating up Indians, dude?
I'm not beating up Indians.
Right.
It's like I'm in reality.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Like snap back into it. Yeah. And it sounds funny, right? It sounds goofy, but that's exactly why the Proverbs say don't isolate yourself.
Yeah. Right.
He who isolates himself wars against all counsel.
Yeah. And he seeks his own desire, it says.
Seeks his own desire, exactly right. Yeah, and so it's like, and that desire, whether you're understanding that or committed to that, is leading you down a total path of darkness.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you got to be literally roped out of it.
Yeah.
And it's only going to happen in community.
To that point is an excellent segue to this is in this darkness, because I've had fellowship with so many people over the years, they ministered to me over and over and over for hours and hours and hours, that buoyed me up, that the Lord used during that time, that I think, man, if I hadn't known these people, I would have been left to my own device, or, I would have been stranded, because I wouldn't have known these people. And so
the beauty of the church, right?
The beauty of the church, and there's a Spartan saying. Can I share it real quick?
Yeah, bro.
Here we go. Yeah.
Can I share it?
Dude, drop this Spartan saying,
Okay.
dude.
Let me try to find it.
I'll get it tatted on my chest.
Yeah.
Well,
He will.
my chest is actually done. In
Your
full.
chest.
I-
You would figure out a
my
way
stomach.
to weave it through there. Yeah.
I'll
So
tat it on
here-
my stomach, dude.
This is my shield. Okay, I can do this because Spurgeon quoted the Spartans. So
Even if he didn't, bro,
no.
drop them bombs.
So this was one
The
of their
Spartans have been
sayings.
baptized by Spurgeon.
Right. No, it's
Their pastor.
As far as if we translate this into a spiritual mindset, right? They would say this. The Spartan warrior would say this. This is my shield. I bear it before me into battle, but it is not mine alone. It protects my brother on my left. It protects my city. I will never let my brother out of its shadow, nor my city out of its shelter. I will die with my shield before me, facing the enemy. So, a lot of brothers covered me with their shield during that time.
Yeah, man.
And you guys are my brothers, dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Amen.
I appreciate that. And hopefully you guys are blessed by this. This is awesome. We barely talked him into doing this, but I think
Eric was reluctant, dude.
Yeah.
Very.
Got him.
Yeah.
well
Got
worth
in.
it. Yeah.
Praise God.
That's
Amen.
it. Peace.